the apology to the Palestinian people. I just spent 5 hours debating Grok, that's the AI on X, formerly Twitter. The discussion was on the Palestinian tragedy. It first gave me all the Western media colonialist tropes that essentially fabricated consent for Israel's actions. But we debated until it ended up agreeing that the path to peace could start with a simple public apology from King Charles III to the Palestinian people. It even drafted the apology so that His Majesty could just add his signature. So here's the full draft apology, which you can also find, share, or cut and paste the written document from my Twitter or Facebook handle, Mr. Lumumba Amin. My hope is that His Majesty King Charles gets to at least first read it, God willing, then possibly just add his signature. But from here in Uganda, here is what the draft apology by Grok says. Its title is Apology from His Majesty King Charles III to the Palestinian people.
To the people of Palestine, it is with profound regret and the heaviest of hearts that I address you today, acknowledging the grave errors committed by the United Kingdom and its allies in the past, particularly with regard to the establishment of the State of Israel without seeking your democratic consent. Over a century ago, decisions were made that profoundly impacted your lives, your land, and your future. The Balfour Declaration of 1917 and the subsequent policies under the British Mandate for Palestine, culminating in the UN Partition Plan of 1947, were all executed without due consideration for your rights, your voice, or your consent. This was not only a serious omission, but an act that has contributed to decades of conflict, suffering, ethnic cleansing, and what many have described as genocide. We acknowledge that these actions have led to an enduring struggle, marked by immense human suffering, displacement, and loss. The failure to engage in a dialogue that respected your democratic will was a profound mistake, one that has fostered deep-seated grievances and pain that have echoed through generations. On behalf of the United Kingdom, I extend my most sincere and heartfelt apologies for our role in these historical injustices. We recognize that the path chosen was one of international despotism, lacking the moral imperative to seek your consent and consider your aspirations for self-determination and peace. This apology does not undo the past or heal the wounds inflicted, but it is my hope that acknowledging this historical wrong can be a step towards reconciliation, healing, and the pursuit of a just peace. We commit to supporting efforts to address these historical injustices, promoting a future where all peoples in the region can live in peace, security, and with equal rights. We stand ready to work with you and all parties concerned to find resolutions that respect the rights and dignity of every individual and community in the Holy Land. May this acknowledgement serve as a foundation for dialogue, understanding, and the construction of a shared future. We pledge ourselves to learning from these mistakes, ensuring that such acts of omission, disregard, and harm are not repeated, and to actively engage in the process of peace building and justice for all. With deep regret and a commitment to a better future, King Charles III.
As I said earlier, you can find this draft public apology letter on my Twitter handle titled Mr. Lumumba Amin. You can share or download or post it to your own social media. Ultimately, our request is that His Majesty King Charles or even Queen Camilla just adds their humane signature to this simple message of peace and recognition of the simple and complicated cause behind a century of suffering of the Palestinian people. What I would like to state in conclusion is that right now there is actual evidence of genocidal intent, evidence of heinous apartheid, evidence of racist Jewish supremacist ideology, and evidence of dangerous Israeli expansionist ambitions against neighboring countries in the region. All this evidence against the Israeli government itself, its members, and its military. If we are not dealing with bigotry of Western leaders, how come many are yet to publicly condemn Israel and stop all their deadly support for the genocide? And how can they then come and preach democracy and human rights here in Africa when their villainous selves have murdered over 100,000 children overseas in a bloodbath of racism? Thank you.